Yeah, now sure, I come from a land down under, but this is really taking it to extremes. You know, it's like coming out of a mine to get up onto where the land should be. Okay, so we're here in Tuscany, in Italy. Yeah, beautiful Tuscany. Everybody reckons it's the most lovely landscape in the world. A lot of people do. But you know, we've got something really seriously wrong here. And I want you just to have a look at this, because I'm assured by the owners of this place that this land here and all this land here were actually the same level just 20 years ago. Now, if I have a look at this point, we've got damn near a metre of difference between this land in 20 years. 1 metre of the topsoil of this landscape has gone down the hill. Now, so what all this means, all this metre of soil, means that on this hillside, it's a few hectares of hillside, we're talking about not just a metre of soil, we're talking about 10, 20, 30,000 cubic metres, 10, 20, 30,000 tonnes of soil. You know, and if soil in a natural undisturbed state takes actually tens of years to create a centimetre, well, here we've got really serious problems and we just can't continue. You know, so what we've got here, we've got already got our cut-off. And you've got the house here behind. This house has been here for hundreds of years. But if you can see what's happened in this 20 years, and each year it gets easier for the soil to fall away, and it's actually a procession of falling away that gets always closer. So we're actually affecting the potential history of this place. It might end in another 50 years if we continue this kind of practice. So what's been here for literally centuries can all disappear just in a handful of years if we don't get it right. Yeah, so here we've got it all. We've got this road, yeah, it's almost a couple of metres above me, and I'm down here, and it's not that the road's been built up or anything like that, it's actually the land's falling away. Gravity's pretty clever like that. It takes it all in a predictable direction, and that's down. And that's where it's all going, and it won't ever come back up here again unless something radical is done to reverse things. Yeah, so as we can see here, you know, there's been big changes taking place, and for sure, if we're going to turn this around, there's got to be more change take place. And we only need to look at this landscape, and we see that this little dream before us, this beautiful little hill, hey, it's happening in a different way than it's happening here, and it's happening better. They've still got their soil, and this soil's gone. So these are the kind of pointers we've got to look to in solving the problems we've got. We keep on ploughing it, we're going to lose it all. We're going to lose it all. That's one thing we can be sure of. So we've got to look at the way we treat the soil. Okay, so we can see in the big scale of things of how different it is, the situation here on this ploughed land and over there on the land that hasn't been disturbed. But let's just have a look at it in a little bit closer detail. And we've got the soil here that's come straight off this field. And over here, you know, we've got the soil that's been covered up and that's had vegetation on it. And you can look at this soil and the way it is, or you can look at this soil. They're like completely different substances. And they are completely different substances. And I mean, you don't need to be a gardener to know that this is the kind of material we can grow things in. And this is something very different. The only way we can grow in this material is if we add something to it. And unfortunately, what most people add to it is chemicals. And we dig it up a little bit more just to try and get it a little bit more like this, that nature does properly anyway. So we've got to start looking differently. And in permaculture, this is the way we look at things. We look to nature to get the idea of the way we might do things better. And that's what we've got to do. We can always get better, can't we?